I had no business plan. I had no like content planner. I didn't do any of that stuff. But that's growth. That's learning. I learn by doing. I learn by failure. Yeah, I had 1,000 followers and then it went up to 12,000 overnight. It got 1 million impressions and 400,000 likes. Shareable content will win no matter what the algorithm is. When you talk about Instagram on Instagram, gold. When you talk about LinkedIn on LinkedIn, gold. I like adventure. I like risk. I want to go all into all the shit I'm doing. Yeah, I just love starting projects. And they see that I'm happy. Like, I'm actually really happy. Like, I've never been happier in my life. I love working towards something. I love improving myself. I love growth. I knew I would regret it if I didn't go all in. I knew I would regret it because I already had regretted it the year before.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the #1 podcast in Winnipeg, aka 204 Rise, where we document the rise starting Winnipeg talent and personalities. If you don't know, we're trying to beat our city in subscribers, so please hit the subscribe button if you find any value from this episode.
Let's go.
Let's go. Before we introduce the guest, our guest brought us a cake, so we're gonna cut it. I'll let her explain more about it, but this is. Well, let's do her intro first.
Yeah,
Let's do her intro.
Okay.
Let's do her intro.
Let's bring on our guest for today. We had her on for episode 9. That was a long time ago. But since then, she started a marketing agency and has seen tremendous success. Please welcome Maddie Thompson.
Maddie Thompson.
Hi, everyone. It's so good to be back.
Yes.
The 100th week. Incredible. Yeah, it's been like 2 years.
Yeah. For their
Crazy.
second reoccurring guest.
Wow,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
You should feel
Okay,
special.
that's a huge honor,
Yeah,
actually.
it's a big
So,
one. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I brought you guys a cake to celebrate.
Who's it from? Where
It is
by?
from DQ Manitoba, Nick and Nikki group of DQs.
Shout
so
out.
DQ St. Anne, Northgate, Niverville, Polo Park.
Let's go.
That's dope.
Yeah,
Thank
best
you.
cakes around.
It's perfect because it's an early morning and we need food.
You need sugar. You need sugar.
Sugar, get us going.
All right, let's cut it. Let's cut
Okay,
it.
Open her
sweet.
up.
All right, who wants to do the honors?
You guys do it.
Ta-da.
Happy
Yay
birthday to you.
Whose birthday? Whose birthday?
That's actually crazy how sick
like it?
that looks. Like, yeah, that's low.
Yeah.
That's
Who
dope.
wrote this? Did you write this?
No, are you kidding? No. The workers wrote it.
Damn.
That's dope.
DQ employees have great handwriting.
Dude.
I mean, they have to.
They
Yeah,
do.
that's
So,
amazing. I like
It'd
that.
be pretty embarrassing if it was all scribbly.
Let's go. All right.
All right.
Maddie Thompson, thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
You've done a lot. Last time we talked about your TikTok success and your clothing,
Yeah.
and since then a lot has changed.
Yeah.
Tell us what has changed.
Yeah, sure. So I had that clothing brand, Social Clothing, right? And then I was in architecture school. And so architecture school, super busy, and clothing margins suck. So it just kind of fell off, right? I needed to focus on school. That was the priority, as it is for most people in the world. And then throughout COVID, it was 2020. I didn't have as many classes because I didn't want to take them online. And I was doing social media for my part-time job. So it was going really well. I was doing it for free, just kind of for fun, right? Why not?
Yeah.
And one day I posted on social media, made a social media account called Spark Media, posted a crazy deal. It was like $80 a month for social media management. And anyone in social media management knows that that's
It's a little thin. Yeah.
ridiculous. I got my first client my first week, actually DQ.
Nice.
So that kind of, gave me motivation to keep going, kept posting on that account, and got a lot of clients just through inbound leads through organic social media marketing. The most amount I've ever paid for ads, probably $100 in my 2 years.
Wow.
Like I don't do paid ads. It's all personal branding, all organic content. Instagram, my LinkedIn is huge. Like I really prioritize LinkedIn lately. And then viral post.
Let's go.
So I had a viral post in February of 2021. And so that's what really grew my brand. I got five clients in 1 week. So I bumped up my prices,
Yeah.
quit my job because I was doing Gary V's like, once you're making triple of your job, then you can quit. So, and I just had a part-time dollar store job, so it wasn't very fancy. But I left my job because I wanted to do that. It was fun, and I did not like where I was working. So did that, balanced that in school. People don't know how I did it. I don't really know how I balanced all of that, but I did. And
it's a grind.
It's a grind.
How did it feel like getting DQ? That's your first guest. That's not a small name.
Yeah. So that was an in-person meeting.
Yeah.
And I don't do too many of them because a lot of it's through Zoom. Now it's more in person, but I was nervous. Like, I'm not going to lie. They are sweethearts though. So that was way easier. I went home. I was over the moon. I started working on it right away. I think I got like the first social media month content plan done in a day or two because I was so motivated.
What was the pitch to them? Like, what were you like? You just wanted to take over. You just need a client, right?
Yeah. Well, I wanted to see if this was a business, if I could do this. So I walked in there. I kind of told her what I did for the dollar store, essentially. I had no business plan. I had no like content planner. I didn't do any of that stuff. So how I did it at the beginning is completely different than how I do it now, but that's growth. That's learning. I learn by doing. I learn by failure. I think that's the best way to learn, actually. And just progress from there. The meeting was scary as shit, but I learned. Now I walk into a meeting and I don't even blink an eye.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Why not just run ads? Like, why don't you believe in running ads?
I do believe in running ads. I just don't need it.
Oh.
And I'm planning on running ads soon, but the thing is, I need to, like, my internal systems are much better now. 2022 for me was all about building internal systems, building my team, project management, CRM, all of that stuff. And so it's pretty good now, but you can only take on so many clients at a time. Like, I'm the one onboarding everybody.
Yeah.
So my brain space is only so much. Because then I have other clients texting me. But yeah, I will do ads. I just don't need it. Why spend the money if you don't have to?
It's also pretty, I don't know the whole social media marketing agency like group or theme or the industry, but I assume that's pretty unheard of, right? Majority of the time, clients just want their engagement up or followers up. And the easiest, most likely way to do that is probably ads, correct?
For the most part, yeah. But if you want to build an actual brand, ads don't build a brand.
Okay.
Ads can get you sales. If you're an e-com, do ads.
Sure.
But if you're trying to build an actual longer brand that's known, you need social media because where do people go after they see the ad? What do they click on? Your website. Okay, great. So they see it there on your website, but then they're not consistently seeing you over and over and over. Or if they follow you on social media, you're consistently pumping out posts and stories because they follow you. Sure. And on average in marketing, someone needs to see you 7 times before they think of you. Like if, that's why it's important. Like, of course, ads are great. If you mix the two, then that's golden. Sure. Just for my personal brand, I haven't needed to.
Okay.
Let's talk about how you built Spark to eventually getting it rebranded
renamed,
to.
Yes.
Yeah,
now it's Mad Social Agency.
Yeah. Which is clever.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
You like it better?
I do. It also represents yourself too, right, Maddie?
It does. Guess who named it?
I assume that was in.
Guess who named it?
Yourself?
My dad.
Oh wow.
Smart.
He'll be
Smart
happy
man.
I said that to the public.
Smart man.
That's
He wants that
awesome.
credit.
Let's talk about how you built the team. Like you didn't start from having lots of employees at the beginning. It was just you grinding it out.
Yeah.
How did that process go?
Yeah, so it was part-time for me, right? Because I had school and it got to the point where, I need help.
Yeah.
So what do you do when you need help? You hire a friend, right? So I hired a friend and she did some accounts for me, and then I needed somebody else because she can only take on so many. She's busy with other things. So then I hired my other 2 best friends, Mia and Bella. And so they still do work for me. And Mia actually has a ton of accounts. It's crazy. And then, a year went past from that. And then I was actually trying to grow the brand like insane. So I had people reaching out to me all the time. If it was a U of M or U of W marketing student or a CRECOM graduate. So those people who reach out, I really appreciate when people do that. You know, it shows that they're a hustler, shows that they're a grinder, that they go for what they want. So those are the people that I hire. I don't put out something and be like, I'm going to hire whatever.
Of course.
But yeah, that's how I do it.
Is finding those people difficult? I mean, you started off with your friends.
They come to me.
Sure.
So, and I'm not at the point where I need to hire like 50 people,
Sure.
right? And turnover is not huge because they're all part-time contract workers technically.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So it's like they have a life.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to get somebody full-time right now,
Sure.
trying to move someone into that kind of role, but nobody's there at the moment.
It's tough, right?
So
What's it like being the leader of the group? Like, you know, you have a lot of responsibilities on your hand.
I do have a lot of responsibilities, but to be honest, even in group projects in school, I've always kind of taken charge. If that, even with social clothing, back to that was a group project, right? And I wasn't even like, oh, I want to be the whatever group leader.
Yeah.
They kind of assigned that to me in a way.
Facts.
So I've always been that type of person, and I know how to manage people in a way, but it's not managing people, it's team members. You know, you don't say employees, you say team members.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just reading a lot about it, trying to learn. I know I'm not perfect, and I always ask them, what can I do better? What systems can be better within my business, right? How can we make our community of what we're doing just stronger and happier, right?
You started off with just yourself, right?
Yes.
And then as you brought in more people, was it difficult to like give up that sort of control? Because you're used to find the client, do the managing, posting and everything.
So that's something I'm still trying to figure out because I'm pulling 14 to 16 hour days right now.
Sure.
And like, you know, I shouldn't be. I need to outsource more things, but I love it at this moment.
course.
Here's the thing, if I wanted to work an hour a day, I could easily work an hour a day and outsource everything. I'm just not, I love control. And it's like, that's a personal kind of problem that I need to deal with where I'm slowly learning. Like I'm offloading a lot. I still hands-on manage a couple accounts. I need to not, but I love it.
Does that ever like stop you from scaling your business though? Like, you know,
that's the issue.
Yeah.
It sometimes takes up a lot of time where I can't focus on the actual business aspects. So yes, that is true, but I'm learning and it's slow progress is still progress.
Yeah.
Right.
What was that like when you got that viral post? I remember you had like 1,000 followers, 2,000 followers around that time, right when you started.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're at like 20K.
Yeah. So,
insane.
Yeah, I had 1,000 followers, and then it went up to 12,000 overnight.
Yeah.
Like overnight, not in the span of a week, actually overnight, and it was because that post was kind of controversial. It was about the Instagram algorithm. When you talk about Instagram on Instagram, gold. When you talk about LinkedIn on LinkedIn, gold. TikTok, like same thing.
Facts.
And so that's why it blew up. Everybody was reposting it on their story because it was me talking about the algorithm, how saves are important and all of that. So it was kind of controversial. Yeah, of course I got some comments. That always happens.
Yeah.
But I got a ton of clients out of it. It got 1 million impressions and 400,000 likes.
Wow.
And for Instagram, that's a lot. For TikTok, that's nothing, right? But for Instagram, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And that's how my brand basically got started. And I was like, okay, maybe I can actually do this.
Did you know when you posted that hey, this one's got a potential, or were you just like, oh, it's another Wednesday post?
Yeah, it's just I was really focused on, like, and I still focus on this. Shareable content will win no matter what the algorithm is.
Sure.
And why is because if somebody is sharing a post with their friends, it's bound to get out there, and more friends will share it with others. People will share it with their parents, right? And that it doesn't matter about the algorithm. If one person sees it, but it's super shareable, it's gonna get out there. So yeah, algorithm's important, but I kind of think it's like to only focus on that, and I tell everyone that.
Yeah.
So when I was posting that viral post, I was just focusing on shareable content and pumping out a ton of information about Instagram.
At what point is it like quantity over quality though?
It does get to that, like, yeah, I focus on quality, of course. I focus more on quality with my clients. With my account, I kind of just pump out content. Now I'm more focused. I like to shout out my clients a lot.
Yeah.
I post a lot of personal posts because I'm trying to get that personal branding, and people now hire Mad Social for Maddie, right? They want to deal with me, which is why I get on Zoom, close deals, whatever. But
Is that pressure? Do you feel some sort of pressure? That's
what? I don't know where my sales skills came from. I'm not gonna lie. I think my dad. But for some reason, I can get on a Zoom and close a deal in 10 minutes. Never speaking to them before.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
What do you say to them?
I just
secrets.
tell them what I'm really good at reading people and figuring out what they need right away. You got to find their pain point. Obviously,
Yeah.
I know how to. Everybody's pain point for social media is the exact same. There's 3 different ones, and it's easy. So I basically just show them the planner on Zoom, how I plan it out, how I'm going to save them time, which is the biggest thing for business owners, who's my target market, obviously. And yeah, I say the same thing pretty much every time.
Do you have like a script?
I don't have a script. It's
No.
just all up here.
Sure.
And
You just go with the flow.
I just go with the flow.
You figure out what the client needs, and
Yeah.
you guys fit like
Yeah.
a partnership.
Yeah, exactly. I made like a sales script before, but that's so not authentic.
Yeah.
And people, when they're being, I guess, sold or whatever, they don't give a crap. They don't want to be sold. They just want to have somebody that they vibe with, somebody to collaborate with, that they respect and trust, essentially.
What was that like when you got that viral post? Of course, it validated the idea of Spark Media, right?
Yes.
Now you're like, okay, now I can quit that dollar job. I'm here. Let's grind this out.
Yeah. What was it like?
Yeah.
It was exciting.
Yeah.
I would say quitting, kind of like dropping out of school, was scarier. Like I'm still scared. I'm not gonna lie, but no, that was an exciting time because Dollar Store, I made no money. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So it's like it paid my gas and my U of M parking pretty much. Like that's what it was.
Which isn't cheap, by the way.
Yeah.
No, which isn't cheap.
No.
So yeah, that's true.
You have them parking, yeah.
Oh,
come on,
Parking
man.
services.
It's ridiculous. It's like $600 for a term.
They make a
Like
lot of money.
students
yeah.
are broke.
They make a lot.
Help
of money.
us out a little bit, please.
You were in the queue, and there's like 2,000 people waiting.
Yeah,
but-
man. It was.
Insane.
I was like rushing. I was like, damn, man.
All right, back to.
Yeah.
All right, we were talking about. What were we talking about? Parking passes. Parking passes.
yes, but let's switch it back.
So, were you ecstatic? Like, were you jumping around when the numbers kept going around? Like,
of
going
course.
Up? Like,
I couldn't. I'd be at work, and you're not allowed on your phone, right? But I would go on my phone just to check how many likes and shares it was doing. And if you click the 3 dots,
Yep.
you can see who's reshared it.
Yep.
So then it was impossible to click on all of the reshares, but I would try and go on everybody's and respond to them because some of them didn't follow me.
Yep.
So I try to get followers that way. But I was crazy. I never experienced, actually that's a lie. TikTok, I experienced that a couple times, but I've never experienced that with a business of mine on Instagram.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did that ever feel exhausting? Like you were always constantly checking your phone to see if like how many numbers you're getting or like engagement you're getting on your post, whereas like, hey, just post it, close your phone, let it do its thing.
That was the only time where I've ever kind of, consistently checked it. Now I don't look at that stuff, right? As long as I'm getting emails and texts, numbers don't matter, to be honest. Branding on social media is really important. What you put out is super important, but numbers aren't everything. That's not a sale, right?
But numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie, but you could have 1,000 people who are not going to buy from you like your post, or you could have a super valuable post with 10 people that like it, and you could make 5 sales because it speaks to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So we've talked about it before with some of the people we've had on the show. The difference between engagement and a high follower count.
Yeah.
What do you prioritize when either yourself or when working with clients?
Right. So for Mad Social, high follower count matters the most, I'd say, just because my job is to get people like followers and grow their account.
Sure.
So people can't look at my account and it have only 1,000, 2,000 followers. So they'll be like, oh, well, this girl doesn't know what she's doing, right? Same with my LinkedIn. That's why my LinkedIn is at like 6,500 people now, because I have to seem like I know what I'm doing, which I do.
Sure.
But for businesses that are trying to sell other things than social media, I would say engagement is more important. Obviously, you need that social proof. You have to have a good amount of followers, but yeah, you got to have that engagement and people interacting. That's how you build a community. That's how you build a brand. That's how people come back to you.
Is it more about the clout though?
Depends on the person.
Okay.
It depends on if it's a personal brand, then yeah, you want clout.
Yeah.
Right? Like, not that I'm a clout chaser, but I need some type of
Clout.
clout
Just
or
some
proof.
proof.
Yeah.
It's like it validates it. Like, okay, we were the same people like come on. They're like a follower account with 25,000 people following versus 2,000 people following.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the 2,000 people they could do the equal stuff. But people are more likely to go where.
Yeah,
people
honestly, like, it depends what your goal is.
Sure.
That's the thing. That's why when I hop on an onboarding call with anybody, we really try to define their goal. And then from there, we define their content pillars. So what type of content we're going to edit and produce for them. But it all goes back to the goal, right? Everybody needs something different. It's not, oh, this is what everybody needs on social media.
Yeah.
Do it for everybody. No, because everybody's different. Every business is different. Every personal brand is different. My personal brand goal is maybe completely different than like your or Robin's personal goal, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
No, of course. But this brings up an interesting conversation about like the different platforms, right?
Yeah.
Since you are a social media agency, there's so many different platforms out there. TikTok, Instagram. Some are dying, some are trending. What are your thoughts about the different platforms and which platform should people be on?
Yeah, so I'm always a huge proponent for Instagram, Facebook, just because Meta kind of rules the world.
Yeah.
And even though Instagram's not great right now, it's great for business because nobody knows what they're doing. And nobody understands these changes they're always making. They're sick of keeping up with it. Hey, Maddie, can you run my social media? I don't want to keep up with the trends anymore. So Instagram is fantastic for business. TikTok, I don't run too many TikTok accounts. I don't focus on it. I don't do many Twitter. I don't advertise. LinkedIn, I'm trying to get more into. I think that LinkedIn will never die just because it's so different.
It is.
It's for professionals, right?
Yeah.
There's no other platform like it.
So how do you keep up with the Instagram? Like, do you have someone in the secret, like giving you
I
advice? Or
have, I'm subscribed to a bunch of emails where
okay.
it basically just feeds me information. Yeah,
That's
it
dope.
keeps me updated.
Are you gonna swing by the Facebook headquarters, give Mark Zuckerberg a call, be like, "Yo, give me the inside
me an
Give
view."
me the insight. Well, you know what? On the Instagram website, it says all the updates consistently. It updates you in like their newsletters, and nobody knows this. Nobody has the time to kind of go through there. They don't want to, but they tell you what's happening.
Facts. Is everyone trying to be like TikTok? Like,
I think so. Yeah.
is it good or
Instagram-
bad? Is it good? Like, I used to love
You know
Instagram
what?
when photos.
It's
were
a
there.
money grab. That's what it is. And I also think why Instagram is kind of turning to the TikTok situation is because when people are doing this with short form content, they consume a lot more of content. And right now there's such an oversaturation of content that they need a way for people to become more addicted and consume more so those views keep up for other people such as businesses.
Does that make it harder to create Instagram content though, because people have such a small attention span because of TikTok nowadays?
You have to know how to just capture the attention right away, right? If someone's face is in the video for the first 3 seconds, it's proven to, I mean, this is ad specific, but it's proven to do better, right? So you just have to know those kind of tactics.
And are you doing like a mixture of like photos, carousels, and reels or TikToks or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, how do you balance it out? Like, if somebody, because if it's a new feature, like for example, like Instagram when reels first came out, they were really pushing it. So you could post a reel, it may not do well, but Instagram's gonna push it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So depends on the client, depends what they send me, right? That's huge. Or if I'm doing content creation for them, like I just did a huge content shoot for Pizzeria in Corridon the other day. So that'll be basically all videos. But yeah, it depends what their product is, what they send me, if they have good photos, if they have good videos, right? I can only work with what I got.
Sure.
So you can make reels out of photos. You can do like the fancy music and add but you can't do that all the time because that gets boring. Nobody just wants to see that. Mm-hmm. But obviously reels most important right now. And when that whole video situation came up, that's more work for me. It's more work for my team. Prices go up, right? So kind of add it to inflation. I'm just joking. It's all because of Instagram videos. That's why we're going into a recession.
It's their fault, yo. Their fault.
I don't know if that's true, but
I'm joking. That is not. If anybody thinks I'm being real, that's
I'm
not
gonna
true.
clip that so hard.
That's not real, but
No financial advice.
When you started Spark Media, what was the goal? Because I feel like once you defined that goal, it took off, right?
Yeah.
And how did you keep convincing your employees or your team members now to believe in that same mission that you did from the start?
Yeah, so at first, my goal was to basically make money for the bar. Right, it was just for fun. I didn't think of it as a business. Mm-hmm. It was like, oh, this is so fun, running social media accounts for people. Mm-hmm. I loved it. It was amazing. And then time kind of went on, and hiring friends is hard. I'm not going to lie, because they know that they can get away with stuff. Like not sending me the content plans on time, for example. They're good now, but there was a time when there was some things.
Yeah.
But yeah, team meetings help. They can tell my vision. Like, I tell them my vision and I tell them what I want to do, right? And they all have their own personal goals, and I really try to help them out. So Taylor owns a jewelry business, actually. She's from Lethbridge in Alberta. She's not even from here. And I buy her jewelry. I support her. I try to help her as much as I can. So it's not only about them knowing my vision, but it's about me supporting my team members in what they're doing in life, right? Not everything is about business. Like, yeah, of course I want to grow my brand. Of course I want them to grow with me. But that's not their focus, right? They have other things going on, and I want to help them pursue what they want to do.
Mm-hmm. That's a valuable point. Did you learn that over time, or was that always just like instilled in you? Because I, personally speaking, like, I'd just be like, yo, let's just work. Let's just go. Let's build this.
Well, of course,
right?
yeah. And I was kind of like that at first, and I just reading books. I'm reading a book about management techniques right now. I never used to read, so I started reading in January, and I've learned a lot from that. But yeah, reading a lot of management style of books, just being more open to change, being, they're people. Mm-hmm. This is how you got to think of it. Everybody in management is a person. Every team member is a person. We're all people. We all have dreams. We all have goals. It's not just about business and money all the time, right? If you just focus on business and money, where is that going to get you? Nowhere. They're not going to be actually motivated to help you. You're not helping them. You have to help them as well.
Sure. Mm-hmm. I hear that. Let's talk about the school.
The school.
Yes. Everyone wants to know.
This is funny because I was on a podcast with Nicholas Bueno, obviously.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
So our boy.
Yeah, so I was on his episode, and he actually named it "Petition to Drop Out of School," because he obviously dropped out, and he was trying to convince me. And I was like, no, there's no way, I'm not going to. And then it was like 3 months later, someone in Vancouver convinced me to drop. That's another story. Sure. But yeah, that was it was a long time coming. I always said for the past 3 years, I'm like, I'm done with school. I'm not going back. I'm dropping out. And I didn't see myself using my degree. I didn't, because I wasn't, maybe 4 years ago, I was like, I'll get my master's in architecture, whatever. And I feel like I could do well with that. But then I got to the point where I didn't want to do that. And a bachelor's in EVDS, to be honest, anyone watching this will get mad at me, but you are going to be sitting 9 to 5 drafting for some head architect for the rest of your life on AutoCAD. That's what you're going to choose what doors they use in the office building. Like, you're not actually going to do anything. Okay. So I just didn't want to do that. And my business was doing well. And I knew that this is the big point, I knew I would regret it if I didn't go all in. I knew I would regret it because I already had regretted it the year before going into my first year in the actual faculty. And that was crazy, balancing one of the hardest faculties in the U of M, aside from like engineering and probably doctor stuff, but whatever. But balancing that and trying to grow this business with now employees was insane. So I had to pick one. I couldn't do both. I couldn't sustain both. I knew I'd go the summer, try and grow the business, but then going back to school would not be possible. Like, there's no way. And yeah, I just knew I'd regret it. And school will always be there. Everybody told me that, and it's true. My business, what I'm doing now, it can't just stay and be ready for me when I'm ready to grow it, right? I would have to start all over again. And I'm at such a spot of growth right now, like it's not slowing down, where I had to just jump and just do it. And I talk about that a lot on social media in my videos and stuff.
What was the aftermath? Like, you made that decision. What was the response like?
Yeah, so I was in Vancouver when I decided, and I texted my mom, and I'm like, I'm dropping out of school. She's just like, she didn't believe me because I say this all the time.
Yeah.
And I said, no, actually this time. She just said, we'll talk about this at home. And Dad's completely good. He's all into it. My mom's like fine now. Yeah. Mainly because I'm on a leave.
If you're watching this.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get my. Yeah, I think because it's not like I dropped out and I'm doing nothing. Yeah, that's different. If I was doing nothing, I would be disappointed in myself. But I'm hustling every single day, and they see that. I'm not sitting on my. I'm not completely broke doing like blowing money at the club, right? So yeah, I don't want to get like hardcore into what happened family wise, but of course. Yeah.
But they just want the best for you, right?
Yeah, well, of course, any parent wants the best for their kid, right? Yeah. And a lot of the time they want that security, and school gives you that, right? You get a degree and you go get a job and like you're good. You're fine. And I just, I like adventure. I like risk. I want to go all into all the shit I'm doing. And now I'm getting into real estate investing, right? I'm trying to buy up land, and I'm starting another business soon. So next podcast can be about that one.
Let's go.
That one I have a partner in, thank goodness. Yeah. But yeah, I just love starting projects. And they see that I'm happy. Like, I'm actually really happy. Like, I've never been happier in my life. So they see that, and that's all a parent wants for their kid. Yeah.
No, it's.
Is there like a deeper side to it, like to why you're always about this like grind and like the goal is always to be like successful? Like, is there a deeper message behind it?
I don't know. To be like, I've always been a go-getter, even from when I was 13 with triple flip, right? Fear of failure, I guess, right? I don't care about being rich, having a lamp. Like, of course, that'd be cool, but that's not my goal. I just want to be happy, and being on the grind actually makes me truly happy. I know there's this big push right now for all those people saying go on the grind or whatever. That's bad. Don't do that. Like, I saw a bunch of posts about it, and it really triggered me. And I'm like, well, what if that actually makes me happy? Yeah. I love working towards something. I love improving myself. I love growth. I love helping other people too. My business is all about helping business owners. I'm a business owner. Talking to other business owners is probably my favorite thing in the whole world, and I'm helping them. So, yeah, I'm on the grind. Obviously, because I want to grow the brand, but I want to help them out, and I just want to do what I love. Yeah,
and it's necessary too. Like,
of course,
if you look at some of the greatest entrepreneurs in this world, or the people that we look up to personally, similar route. Right?
Well, you're not going to get anywhere if you don't try.
Exactly.
And if you don't put yourself out there, and if you don't grind, you can't expect something to happen. People expect things to happen to them, and they don't actually go out and take opportunity. Every single opportunity that comes to me, somebody texts me, they're like, "Hey, let's go out to lunch." Yeah, I will go. I have no idea who you are, but you do something cool with a business. So hell yeah, I'll go meet you for lunch. I will not turn down an opportunity because everybody else sits there on their, and you know, sometimes opportunities come for them, but you got to go out and like try, like triple flip. I DM'd so many businesses. I was 13 years old. I'm taking Gary V's advice, and I am messaging everybody from local businesses to Lululemon. And then a national brand came back to me and was like, yeah, let's do a clothing line, right? Like, I didn't just get that. It didn't just happen. I went and I got it. And nobody gets that. They don't actually try.
Why do you think that?
Why do I think that? Because I don't know, to be honest. I know that I have a different mindset than everybody else. My dad always tells me this. He's like, Maddie, you can't expect people to be like you and always whatever, because I talk so much about this stuff. So I know that half of it is just my mindset is a little bit different. Have no idea why, but it just is. And yeah, why do people not go out and get things that they actually want? Lazy. We live in such a world of just, we expect everything right away, like fast content, for example. We want it quick. Yeah. We don't want to put the work in. We want to just sit and watch Netflix. We don't, nobody prioritizes. Nobody has time management skills. I started time blocking. Time blocking is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
That's great.
Yeah. So you got to prioritize. Do you watch Netflix for 2 hours, or do you try and build a side hustle every day for 2 hours? You got to decide, right? You guys are deciding to sit here and grow a podcast, right? Every single week. That's a priority, and you're working towards something. You could be doing anything else right now. You could be eating cake and watching Netflix, right?
Nice plug.
DQ. You could be eating DQ cake and watching Netflix.
Yeah, no, you're right though.
Yeah,
right.
that's true.
Yeah.
So there's a reason why we do this.
Yes.
And the same reason I assume for yourself as well, right? Mm-hmm. And those hours add up, right? You can you watch
More
2 hours of Netflix a night.
TikTok.
In a week, you're in like 14 hours.
That's what happens. TikTok. I watch my dad do that. He sends me weird. I don't know what's on his For You page, but it's weird. And he's he's on there a lot. But yeah.
Does that grind ever get exhausting? Like to the point where you're like, man.
Like, you know what? I make a point to hang out with friends. Like that's super. I have a couple really close friends, and that's a priority to me. To hang out with them, to make time for them, go out to brunch. You know, I'll watch Selling Sunset with them and get drunk. Like I'm doing that. This weekend. That's about real estate though, so it's fine.
Oh yeah, I'm learning stuff.
I'm learning. Does it get exhausting? Like obviously, I have my bad days. Everybody has their bad days. I think you posted something about the 1/3 rule.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's true. You know, 1/3 of the time you're ecstatic. 1/3 of the time it's good. 1/3 of the time it's complete crap.
Yeah.
And so as long as you understand that, you're good. Like, of course, I have bad days. Everybody has bad days. But overall, I'm content and I don't get tired of it.
How do you get through those bad times, right? Like, it's hard. It's not easy to...
I know that there's another side. Sure. You just got to go through. I think of it this way. You know, you have one bad day. Is that specific day or that specific event that made you feel like, is that going to affect you 5 years down the line, 3 years down the line? Are you even going to remember or think about it? Mm-hmm. If you get a flat tire on the highway and that, you know, that's pretty crappy. That, you know, you miss a meeting, whatever, you have a day. Is that going to matter even in a year? No, it's not going to. You reschedule the meeting. You get a new tire. Like, what's going to, like.
Yeah.
Right?
This reminds me of a story of like George Janko from Logan Paul's podcast. Where he talks about how much rent someone pays you. Like if you're in an argument, right? Like for example, me and Taryn get in a fight. How much rent is Taryn paying me to get in my head? Mm-hmm. He's not paying me anything. Exactly. So why is he there?
Exactly. You know? That's so good.
That's to George Janko. Shout him out. But yeah, man, like that's what was like. I know like a lot of people say like, man, Maddie, like why'd you quit architecture? Like, yo, like that's like the best thing you can do.
You know what's funny? When I was in architecture, everybody asked why I was in architecture.
Yeah.
They could see that I didn't like I wanted to do other things, and it was quite funny. I'd walk around and I'd be doing my work and people would be like, Maddie, why are you here? My prof even had no idea why I was there. And I told him, I talked to him about it. I'm like, this is what's happening. And he said, oh yeah, totally go do your thing. he just
that's a real one.
yeah. He encouraged me, so it was good.
What's the mindset like? Because you seem like a very put together, organized individual. Just from the outside.
Yeah,
I don't know you personally, but
everybody, for some reason, people think that.
sure.
I'm just trying, like, I'm trying to grow every day. I'm trying to grow my mindset every day, right? So I do think I have a different mindset than people. I'm very open to, if I'm doing something wrong, tell me. I want to improve. Where some people are stuck, I used to be stuck in my ways, but I've just progressed out of that. So I guess that's how my mindset is. Just knowing that I'm not perfect, knowing that I need to grow, right?
You mentioned in the start of the podcast that you learned from your failure.
Yes.
Like, was there ever a career-defining failure for you that like set you to take it to the next stage? You were like, man, never again.
Not specifically. There's always little failures, right? Especially just within business systems. Specifically, you're doing something wrong. The way I planned out social media before was just completely stupid, like dumb. I look back and I'm like, how did I even get clients? But I figured that out, that it just wasn't working. It was a fail. And so I moved out of that. It just, anything that doesn't work, you got to figure out how it does work.
Is it about like building systems? Because I assume eventually you want to get out of the day-to-day kind of grind, right?
So 2022 for me is about building systems. That was my goal at the beginning of the year. Okay. Next year for me is going to be about connections, because who is everything, and I've already built a lot of actually pretty good connections. But yeah, systems, kind of getting out of being on the hands-on social media situation.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like asking, I just like watching when I watch like Mark Cuban or whatever and about their day. What's your day look like?
What does my day look like?
Because
do you want me to go kind of exactly what I do every day?
Run me through like morning and night.
Yeah. Okay. So I get up decently early before everybody else.
Is there a reason why you get up so early? Is it
because
what's so early? Like 6 a.m., 5 a.m., 4 a.m.?
So, okay, I used to get up at 5 a.m. and then I kind of, vacation messed me up. And then I was at like 8 a.m., which to me sucks. And now I'm back at like 6:30. So I average right now is 6:30-ish.
Yeah.
So I get up and, that's when the deep work happens, because nobody's contacting you. That's when you can actually focus on growing your business and figuring out your strategy and your plan. Then at 8 a.m. is when I do the posts for the accounts that I specifically run. Then it's kind of emails, and usually I have a few meetings. I'm in a lot of meetings now because I'm the only person who does that. Like I am customer service.
Yeah.
I'm the one doing all of the emails. The people who work for me are kind of the social media managers.
Okay.
Right? So they're doing a lot of the graphic design, planning out the accounts. They're posting on their own accounts, because we're doing 50 right now this month. It's going to be more because I'm just trying to onboard people. So that's a lot.
Yeah.
Right? So they're busy doing that. Usually they're messaging me. We're kind of planning out strategy. Lunchtime, I'm still working. I'm just trying to constantly grow the business. I spend a lot of my time creating content for myself, like my Instagram, my TikTok, Mad Social, Instagram, Mad Social Reels. So that takes up a lot of my time, actually, throughout the day. I'm trying to hire an editor. I did get a video editor, and they were not great. So if you edit videos, hit me up. But
you're in a perfect room for that.
But what's my day-to-day is kind of different every day. That's the thing. And that's what makes it great. I make my list at night, and, sometimes I have content shoots in the city. A lot of the time I'm meeting really cool people in the city. I can't even talk about it, but I met a really cool person last week. And on September 1st, I'm starting some profiles for politicians.
Let's go.
So it's actually insane. It's cool. So my day-to-day is different.
Changes.
But morning's always the same.
From episode 9 to the 100th week special now.
Do I seem different?
That's my question. That's my question.
Okay,
From a personal perspective, what do you think is the biggest difference between those two people?
I'm a lot more confident now. So back in high school, I didn't talk to people. I was not. No, I didn't put myself out there. I had friends, but it wasn't, you wouldn't think like, oh, Maddie, whatever. And I'm a lot more confident with who I am. I don't care anymore. I just do what makes me happy. And I used to care a lot what people thought of me. Even 2 years ago. Even 2 years ago, I still had that kind of mindset where I cared, right? I cared a lot about how I put myself out there, what I posted, what I was doing with my life even, right? I was in school just to be in school, right? Because it's the thing you do.
Yeah.
And yeah, confidence. Confidence is the main thing, being more open, a lot more talkative. I'm a lot more like outgoing.
No, I would say when we met you the first time, you were the first random person we had on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
We just reached out and you were like, yeah, let's do it. Like, we didn't know you prior. And then seeing your growth over, like, watching from afar, you can clearly tell that this person's working towards something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
There's a reason why you get up every morning. Like we mentioned before, there's, like, you don't have to do this.
No, not
right?
at all.
You could sit at home and do whatever. I remember you said in episode 9 your goal was to be on Vogue. Or not Vogue.
Yes, it was. It was.
It was-
Was it
no.
Vogue? It wasn't Forbes?
It was Forbes.
Forbes.
Sorry,
Yeah,
it was
sorry,
actually
Forbes.
Forbes.
Yeah,
But
Vogue.
we did a Vogue photo shoot for that. That's
Yes,
why
yeah,
it's
the
getting
trend,
Yes,
yeah.
the trend. Is the goal still Forbes, or has the goal?
No, the goal is obviously still Forbes, but now I'm moving. Okay, my purpose, my overarching purpose, I figured this out in life, is to motivate people and inspire people. That's my overarching, like, what I'm meant to do.
Sure.
So with that, I would love to public speak. Love to public speak. It's just, how do I get those opportunities? Well, I got to go out and get it. But ageism is real, and I'm a young female, and some people don't think I know. So that's hard. That's a whole nother situation. But that's I want to speak to people, even if it's TED Talk. I love doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
I love sharing just motivation and mindset.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is that tangible though? Because
People do it.
But no, I'm not that way. The reason why I say it's tangible is because you probably motivate and inspire people already. Like,
I don't
that's
feel
already
like I
checked out.
do, though.
That's already checked off.
But I don't feel like I do.
Why not?
Not yet.
Like-
I do to, like, a micro percentage. Maybe people my age are like, I get messages and they're like, I'm at the spot where you were 2 years ago with a crap job, just kind of doing it day to day. Like, yeah, I had a clothing brand, but whatever. And they see me now and they ask me, how did you do this?
So that's motivation.
So,
right?
yeah, I guess I do motivate people in that sense, but I can do it more.
Is it a scale thing? It's
Yeah,
like you
I
wanna sell at an
want to
arena?
do it on, well, 10x, I guess,
10x, yeah, right?
But like Grant Cardone rented out the whatever stadium.
Staples Center?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it was one of the centers.
On
yeah.
the Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Have you ever thought about doing like a conference just strictly about marketing?
I don't think it would.
Why
I
not?
don't think it'd sell out at the moment. Maybe
You never know.
in 3 years, 5 years. Not now.
What's one thing that you? Well, I'll ask you two questions. What's one thing you love about the job, and what's one thing you hate about the job?
I love my clients.
Okay.
Love working with them. I've mentioned that so many times.
Mm-hmm.
Love talking to people. I love, like, okay, you see my reels on Instagram, so I started that recently.
Mm-hmm.
And so I count that a part of my job now,
Sure.
right? Because it's my content. It portrays who I am, what my brand is, what type of content we can produce for others. So I really like editing those type of motivational videos that people then see, people message me. I count that a part of my job. It's personal branding, right? The worst part is, I don't even know.
Captions.
Like, to be, well, there's AI for that, so I
Yeah.
don't even do that anymore.
Okay.
And I got people, so
Oh, she got
that used to be the worst part. But
What else?
worst, I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie. I'm working at home.
You don't
That's
like
the
working out?
No, because I get too many distractions. I can fix that easy. That's the thing. Like, so it's not even bad. If I wanted to, I could go out today and rent an office. Not going to, but I could. So I don't really have.
I hear.
There's nothing.
Nothing. Nice. That's a great mindset to have. I don't know. Thoughts on like workcations, or what are they called? When you like,
oh my gosh, I take so many.
when you go somewhere to like
like
have a good time, but then you also work during the day.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Workation?
Yeah, so I go to Vancouver a lot lately and just go and do that. Calgary Stampede, I went and I worked when I wasn't at the Stampede. Vegas, I went with my mom and I worked during the day, party at night, walk around, hang out, buy some Valentino stuff. Just why not? You gotta go shopping.
Yeah.
And yeah, I go to LA soon, Mexico, Florida.
Let's go.
Got lots booked. I love it. And it's not distracting. It kind of just motivates me.
Mm-hmm.
Is because this is the lifestyle you worked for.
This is the lifestyle I work for. Okay, here's the thing. I can work digitally, right? Everywhere.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
So I might as well take that opportunity and just leave when I want to, right?
Let's talk about the lifestyle you've attained. You get to travel, work, and do what you truly like.
Yeah.
What does that feel like?
It's incredible. Yeah, so I'm not traveling this month at all. I'm finally laying low. But June, July, I was pretty much gone.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't even in Winnipeg, I'm not going to lie. I'd get home for 2 days and I'd leave on another flight. But I love the lifestyle. It's a lifestyle I've always wanted, right? Everybody's dream is to travel. And I kind of took, I guess, a gap term at one point when COVID really hit. I only had one class and it was online. And my goal was to travel originally, and I couldn't. It was all shut down. So what I'm doing now is essentially making up for that. Best lifestyle ever, though. I don't even see myself owning a home for like to live in. Like I'll own houses, but not that I'm going to live in a long time. Because I'd rather just live with my family.
Yeah.
And then leave and live in a Airbnb for however long I want.
So what's the end goal?
I admire
What's the
that.
end goal?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think of end goals.
What's the moment you can be like, I can ask this question like 10 different times to get an answer.
I know. Okay, I'm so bad at. Everybody asks me about long-term goals, and yeah, it's great to have goals. It's great to be like, oh, I want to live here. I want to be doing this, whatever. But I love being spontaneous, and I think part of why I like what I'm doing is that I have absolutely no idea where I'm going to be in January. I don't know how big my business is going to be. I don't know if I'm going to have another business going to be doing something completely different. I just don't know. And I love that. It could take me I could be in China next year. I don't know. And so it's great. I don't know. But that's the goal. The goal is not knowing for me.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I remember when we used to be younger and we used to like do like grade 8 evaluations or whatever, like at the end of the year.
What?
And they used to be like, where do you see yourself in 10 years, right?
Yeah.
And like grade 8, how old was I? Like 12 years old
Yeah,
or
then you're
whatever.
like, yeah.
It's like, if I were to say in grade 8, I'm going to be sitting in a room talking with the people who I admire and doing a podcast, that's not on the list.
Yeah.
Like, so for me to be like, yo, where I'm going to be 10 years or 5 years from now, who knows, yo? I didn't even think I was going to be here 10 years
Yeah,
from
exactly.
now. So
Look
like,
at you guys go.
So
Doing great things.
I do understand where you're saying, like,
Yeah.
the long-term goals.
I think goals are good, but it's kind of boring.
Sure.
It's boring.
Yeah, I feel you. There's also, like, milestones, though.
I have milestones, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
The private jet.
No, that's
a big
bad. That's
milestone.
bad
The
for the
mansion.
environment. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Sorry.
Bad for the environment.
Not
that
if you
goes
use
on trips
eco-friendly
every 2
fuel.
weeks.
Okay, if I'm okay,
I'll think of something. Don't worry. That's not my turn.
How is the private jet bad for the...
Because you're just transporting like a couple people when you could transport a bunch, and
Aren't you flying, like, every 2 weeks?
yeah, but I'm taking commercial.
I don't know. I don't mean
Anyway,
to diss you. I don't mean
I
to diss
don't
you.
want
I
a
don't mean
private
to
jet.
diss you.
Okay, doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
I don't mean to diss you. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But like, you know,
Okay, private
just
jet's
saying.
not.
You're not flying the private jets every 2 weeks. You're flying them probably once a year, maybe.
Okay, well that's fine.
I'm just no disrespect. No disrespect.
That's funny.
But it's a milestone for me.
Yeah,
personally.
I got milestones.
Personally.
Like I have what I want my monthly income to be. Like I have milestones like that. I have something I'm really trying to hit by December, which would be stupid, insane. But I have milestones like that. I have, I want to have 100 clients in a year. somebody I know thinks I can have 200 if we think of a set strategy. So I have a strategy session next week.
10x at 2,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go.
So yeah, kind of clients. I need to bump up just adding in packages, right? So I mainly do social media right now, but I'm adding in the content creation aspect of it. So I'm going to be going out, filming more content for people opposed from them just sending me stuff. Then I can have larger packages offering more services. So I'm really niche down into just social media management. So I really want to get broader services and that I can offer more. You know, maybe email marketing. I don't know. I don't see that in the near future, but you know what I mean, just offering more.
I didn't actually know that. So my just what I thought was the marketing agency was like everything. You create content and then you also post it. But they send you content or at the beginning.
Yeah, so how it works
Yeah.
is that they basically send me videos and photos through Google Drive folder. We edit it all, and then we plan out the content for the month.
Sure.
The captions, everything, and then we run the account.
Okay.
So that's how I started and how most of my accounts are. 'Cause it still saves them a ton of time, right? And there's a lot of like I'm getting a lot of bigger businesses now where they have full in-house photography, videography teams. So they can make content and send it to me, right? And this model works because then I can work with people in the States.
Sure.
And I can work with people all around the world. The only issue is I have some people who send me one photo and that's it. But then that's just creativity on our part, kind of outsourcing and creating a lot of graphics, whatever. That's another story. But adding on this kind of content creation situation is my next step and my next big milestone. So then that way we will have the content. It's kind of more creative on our part, and it's fully run by us.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never actually thought, because we do everything ourselves.
Right.
So
Yeah. Well, lots of people have like in-house people.
Yeah.
To take photos.
So I just generally thought that you create, you post, you do all that, but it's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
What can the audience look towards for you and your personal brand for the future?
Toward me and my personal brand. So inspiring and promoting just like growth mindset and big on the growth mindset. I really want to pump out more content. I kind of do every once in a while. I put out a lot of reels. My LinkedIn, I'm focusing on a lot. So follow me on LinkedIn.
That goes crazy.
Follow me on LinkedIn.
I follow you on LinkedIn.
Yeah. I put a lot of effort into that lately, and it's A, great for business, but B, I can help educate people, and I can give value and inspire. So growing those channels, because personal brand lasts forever. I tell everybody this. You know, a business brand is great, but who you are will last forever. You can go into any single industry and it's still you. You're still known. So building the personal brand, the real estate investing stuff, that's kind of my next big milestone personally. Getting into that, so that's what you can expect.
Any advice? I know we asked you this at the end of episode 9. We're going to ask you this again, and maybe the answer's different. Maybe it's the same.
I don't even know what I said 2 years ago.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know.
I'm going to listen back after this, and I'm going to hear what I said, because I wonder if it's still relevant to what I'm doing.
I don't think we asked that question,
I'm pretty sure we did. But anyway.
Okay, anyways. Yeah.
Advice to the world, advice to us.
Advice to the world.
Inspire and motivate. This is your chance.
Inspire and motivate. I love my prioritization speech. Okay. So prioritize what's actually important to you. What's going to progress you in life? What's going to help out your meaning? Even if you don't know your meaning, you still got to just push through with what you love. And I did this even in high school. In high school, I didn't take any science because I knew I hated it. And the counselor or whatever was like, Maddie, you have to take science. You have to take science to get into university. A, you don't, because I got Dean's honor list and everything, and I didn't take a single science class. So even then, I didn't know my overarching purpose, but I know that I didn't like science. So I just didn't do it. And I prioritized other things opposed from science, other things that I knew were a part of my purpose and that would somehow push me to where I wanted to go. So prioritize those type of things. Is is scrolling on TikTok, consuming content that's going to, with beautiful people, that's going to make you feel like, usually it does, is that going to help you out in what you want to do? Probably not. You never know. Maybe you want to be a TikTok reviewer, but that's usually not the case. So prioritize.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's a good word.
On that note, I think that's a perfect way to end off the podcast. If you haven't already, make sure to check out Maddie. We'll tag everything in the description below.
Yeah.
Check out our accounts and everything. And we're on all streaming platforms, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that. You know what to do. We're live every Tuesday morning at 11:30 a.m. on the UMFM radio station, 101.5 FM. Until next time, peace.
Bye, y'all. Woo!